Welcome to the video, guys. This is probably going to be the most informative and the most important video that you're going to watch out there on how to become a meme coin millionaire step by step in 2025. The most important thing that I want to really label out here for everyone before we really get into it is that everything I'm saying here is going to be realistic and not complicated. That's the most important part. A lot of videos out there tell you to use all these crazy tools. It tells you to do this, to do that. And as well, I've actually done the work here, right? So I've actually made millions of dollars in crypto over the past couple of years, and I've also made that money on multiple different sectors in crypto. So I've actually done the work, right? You're not being taught by someone that has just made their first 100 grand in crypto. I've actually done the work here, and every single year over and over, I perform. So I believe that I'm qualified to be able to show you guys this, and I want to make sure that you guys are going to be equipped to really tackle the bull run down here in 2024 and 2025. So I'm going to give you guys simple tools, right? I'm going to be showing you guys that in the video. I'm going to be showing you guys charts, and I'm going to show you guys 5 different ways that you guys can be trading these meme coins and make hopefully millions of dollars, if not hundreds and thousands of dollars, which is the goal here. I hope you guys make money, right? So I'm going to get into this, but to get started, you're going to need a Phantom wallet to be able to trade. And also too, you are going to need to have a Photon account. You just connect your Phantom wallet to your Photon. If you guys don't know what that is, you guys can watch another video about that. I'm not going to get into it, but make sure you guys are using Photon. I'm going to leave my referral link down below. I'm not sponsored by them, but I do know the team over there. The guys have been building for years. This is the trading tool that I use whenever I want to buy and sell any meme coins. So going back to it, again, this video will be realistic and not complicated. I've actually done the work here, and I'm going to show you guys simple tools and simple strategies, which I will be labeling out every single strategy, all types of strategies, all 5 of them, about how you guys can be trading these meme coins. So the first type of trading method here is called info trading, and some people call it insider trading. In my opinion, out of the 5 types of trading that I'm going to be going over today, it is the least realistic for all of you, but it is something that is also very, very, very possible for anybody to obtain and for anybody to get involved in. Info trading is very simple. I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples here, and I'm just going to show a random chart of random tokens. I obviously have a couple different tabs here. I'm going to be showing you guys some different charts, some different tokens to give examples. None of these tokens I endorse, none of these tokens I hold, and I'm not going to disclose furthermore. But info trading is very simple, and I'm going to give you guys examples of what info trading looks like. So we have Michi here. So with Michi at its recent run up, it's down about 60%. And I'm going to give you guys an example here. And again, this is a made up scenario, so don't say that this is real. Don't go tell your friends that I said this and it's true, because this is a made up scenario. But let's per se that there's news out there, and it's confirmed news within your inner circle, or maybe you know somebody that tells you that Michi is going to be listed on Binance, or Michi is going to be listed on Coinbase, which are 2 of the largest major crypto exchanges in the world. Now, if you were to know this piece of information before everybody else, you would obviously know that once it gets listed on these exchanges, it is going to have a massive run up in terms of volume and in terms of market cap. Just because of retail and just because of FOMO and speculation, everyone is going to buy in from all different types of sectors. So you're going to see retail buying in, you're going to see crypto native people buying in, you're going to see whales buy in, you're going to see speculators buy in, you're going to see all types of people buy in just based off of that news. So you obviously know this piece of information. You throw $10,000 into Michi. And again, I know that that's a large amount of money for a lot of people. We can even apply this example for $1,000 or even for $100. Again, just using this $10,000 mark as a metric. Let's per se Michi overnight, within let's per se 24 hours of this news coming out to the public, Michi does a 4x. You are now sitting on $40,000, right? Now, in traditional markets, this is like a really crazy return, but in reality, this happens in crypto all the time. There's many different examples out there that I can show you guys later, but this has happened multiple times where once these large meme coins get listed on exchanges, they actually have a really crazy run up. Sometimes we see a 2x, sometimes we see a 20x as soon as they get listed on these exchanges. But the biggest thing is you knowing this information before it goes live to the public. And again, this can be applied to anything. You can use a different example. I can use an example of knowing that a hedge fund is going to announce that they're going to be buying in and applying a commitment of $10 million to be buying into a certain meme coin. it can be applied to anything. But information trading is something that gives you a massive edge. It also requires very little time to actually do. It's probably the easiest form and the lowest input, highest output form of trading that you can possibly do. I call this lazy trading, just based off info. I know a lot of friends of mine do this, and I know that other people have made a killing, have made millions of dollars off of this. And again, some people call it insider trading, some people call it, trading based off of the news before everyone finds out. But this is a very, very lucrative way of trading. And as I said earlier on, this is the least realistic way of trading that you're going to be able to actually accomplish and make $1 million with, just because you do have to have a network, you do have to have a circle, and you do have to know people that are going to give you this information. Or whether you do find it on your own, it is very hard to do this, and that is why it's super lucrative. And again, this is something that is technically very realistic for all of you, but on the scale of 1 to 5, out of the 5 types, it is at the lowest scale. So that is what info trading is. And again, it's just as simple as you buy when you find out the news at a level that you feel comfortable with a dollar amount that you feel comfortable with losing, because again, this is a gamble, and all types of trading is obviously very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. So make sure to enter into this type of trading with size that you feel comfortable with. So now to go back to the notepad, the next type of trading that I love to do is called speculation. Hold up, I don't even know if I could type. Speculation trading, right? Now, speculation trading is very lucrative as well. I would put this on a little bit of a higher scale in terms of realistic types of trading and realistic ways to become a millionaire in 2025. Speculation trading is something that a lot of people in this space do, and I think it's one of the most popular forms of trading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go here and just pull up a random chart. This is a very low market cap token, so please do not buy this. This shit is probably going to go to zero. Make sure to be careful. Again, I'm just showing examples. So Elon Musk makes a joke the other day, and he says how he's going to buy MSNBC. If we scroll a little bit into here, we could see it's on like this banner of this token, whatever, yada, yada, yada. What this means and what this is, right? Elon Musk mentioning that he's going to buy MSNBC. Now, he obviously made a teaser saying that he's going to do it. But in reality, if he is going to do this, in reality, I think that this is probably going to hit anywhere from, minimum $10 million market cap, anywhere ranging all the way up to a $100 million market cap if he actually does that. So let's per se at these levels, we're at 1.7 million. In order to achieve a 10x, we have to be at a $17 million market cap, right? So let's per se, you put one SOL, right? This is correct. So at a $1.7 million market cap, you put in, let's per se, 1 Solana, which is what I think is really realistic for everybody here. I know some people want to do the metrics of 0.1 Solana or 1 Solana. 1 Solana is worth around $260 right now, so I'm just going to say that. If you put 1 SOL at a $1.7 million market cap, and if you do a 10x, you're going to be sitting on 10 Solana. So you've just increased your trade by 10 Solana. You started with 1, now you're sitting on 10. You have a net profit of 9 Solana. So this is what speculation trading is. And the reality is that it is a new form of gambling, right? People are speculating, people are guessing and assuming and hoping that these things will happen. Now, what are the chances that Elon Musk actually buys MSNBC? Little to none in reality, but this is something that a lot of people take a bet on, and a lot of people actually like to get into these things when these tokens are dead. Right now, you see a lot of volume on this, and this is basically people that are trading based off of emotion. People are FOMOing into this. I don't honestly think that this will run up any higher unless Elon Musk makes some more tweets about buying MSNBC. But we also saw this with monkeys quite a while ago. And let me just try to find the right contract here. I think it's this one. So Monkey's token was something that was a long time ago. I think this ran to like $45 million market cap, something crazy. I mean, I can just switch the view here and just see what the market cap was. Let me go here. Yeah, this thing ran all the way up to like a $41 million market cap. Now, why this token flew back then, as you can see, it's dead. Please don't buy it. But this token flew because Elon Musk has a Twitter list in his Twitter account called Monkeys. And people thought that Elon Musk was eventually going to tweet about monkeys. And what did people do? They were buying up monkeys and speculation that Elon Musk was going to tweet about his Twitter list. And if he was going to tweet about his Twitter list, people were going to keep on buying this up. And that was the speculation. Now, what the greatest speculators do and what speculation traders do is they find these narratives and they go ahead and they buy up these tokens at these lower prices. So then when the news or when the speculation starts to spread around the space, and let's per se at these levels, only 100 people know about this speculation trade. By the time we run up to this level, this is our first key resistance point. We're seeing around 10,000 people now knowing about this news. Now we have the insiders slowly dumping. They're trying to take profits. Maybe they're DCAing on the way out, on the way up, or they're just full porting their bag down. And obviously that's why we see a little retracement here. And then as more people know about the news goes viral, the token starts trending. That's when we see more people buying it up based off of FOMO. And what speculation trading is based off of a lot of times is not that the actual speculation will ever come to fruition, but that the speculation spreads more and more people start believing in the speculation. And this is what happens a lot in this space. So we can see here it topped out. This is when the most people knew about this speculation, and this is when the most people believed that this speculation was going to happen. And what do we see? This never happened, and it just slowly fizzled out and died out, and people stopped believing that this thing was going to happen. And now we see today, not a lot of people believe it's going to happen, because if we did see, or if the reality was that a lot of people did believe that this was going to happen, we would still be at these levels, right? So if you wanted to get into these things, you have to understand, and you have to be in certain groups. You guys can go check out the link down below. I have a group called Mashallah I have with my partners that have made millions of dollars in crypto. So we go over this type of stuff. But this is something that can obviously make you quite a bit of money, because we can see here as these people are in the accumulation zone. These are the insiders. These are the people that are speculators. These people made, what is it? They made just around a 60x on their money from just speculating, right? And this is a chart I just pulled up from just around the bottom here all the way up to all-time highs. Anyone who is speculating on this early on obviously made a lot of money, and hopefully they sold their bags near the top. And obviously this 60x is based off of if you sold your bag on the exact top and you perfectly timed it on the bottom. So that's why speculation trading is so good. If you get into the right speculation, or if you find the right news, or if you find the right narratives, or whatever you want to call it, early on, you're able to really cash out once more people know about the actual speculation. So that's why I like it a lot. And again, I can apply this to a lot of other examples, but I'm not going to get into it because this video is going to get too long if I do. So the next type of trading here that we're going to go over, and I think that a lot of people actually use this type of trading method, is we're going to go over volume trading. This is something that I've done myself. This is something that a lot of other people do, and this is something that you can actually apply and become very successful with if you use proper risk management and if you obviously use common sense to be able to make this successful. So I'm going to go over a couple of examples of volume trading. I'll actually go over one of my recent trades that I did very well with, and how I actually had no insider info. I had no real speculation on what was going on here. I had no idea what was going on. I was basically just volume trading, and I was able to make an 8x in basically under 6 hours. I was able to make this happen. So here we have Mark Casey, some funny meme, whatever. There was some controversy around it. Not my problem. All that I'm showing you guys is my trade, what it looked like, and how I actually took profit. And this was almost a perfect trade for me. I actually sold directly near the top around the 7.8 range, or $78 million market cap range, which is great. But what happened here is I saw this token. I was actually filtering for the 2-hour time frame. So I'll actually show you guys here how to do that. I went ahead here and I just went on Dex Screener, which again, if you guys want to look at tokens or whatever like that, you guys can go on Dex Screener. It's a great tool to be able to look at trending tokens, to be able to just search up tokens and check out their market cap, whatever it is, yada, yada, yada. I went on filters and I basically did something around the 2 to 3 hour time frame, and then I filtered by volume, and I looked at new pairs that have high volume. I mean, we can even look at this. This token is 14 minutes old. It already has $15 million in volume. Maybe this is a trade that I'll look into a little bit later after this video, but What I did is I basically saw a very large amount of volume, and then after I saw a very large amount of volume, I just went ahead and I took a look at the holder count to make sure that the volume is organic, because a lot of times in this space, people are using automated market makers and volume bots and these different ways to wash trade to trick people into believing that something has high volume when it really doesn't, to make people FOMO into these different tokens, thinking that these tokens are going to moonshot because they have a very high level of volume, and they obviously have high velocity and high holder count. These people are able to basically manipulate and artificially create a token to make it look like it's good when in reality it's not. So you guys have to be very careful with volume trading. This is something that you can get wrecked on very easily, and this is also something that I recommend that you set some stop losses for so you don't get fucked. But very simple here. I'm gonna go on my trade Casey. What I was doing is I was filtering by the volume, as you guys saw, and I saw a very ridiculous amount of volume, and I was watching the holder count, and everything was looking good. It was very obvious to me that there was a market maker involved, and it was very obvious to me too that it was bundled, and I'll go over what bundling is and what that means and how that affects you guys later. But I saw that all these things were there, which in reality to some people are red flags. But to me, if it's done properly and if the team that's running the token is not greedy and if they're not scammers, it's usually a good sign. It shows that the team is rich. It shows that the team is investing back into their token, and it shows that they really want to build it up. And I'm going to just go here and show I bought in at around 10 million right around here, as the token was very fresh. It was very new. I think the pair was like an hour old when I bought it, and it rode all the way up. It was around a 7x from when I bought it. I sold it just around here at the 7.8, 7.5 range. We'll just say right here. So I made a 6.5x on some good size of money within around 6 hours, which was great for me because, again, it was a good size trade. And obviously a 6.5x on a good size trade is great money, especially within 6 hours. In the traditional markets, that takes you obviously decades to be able to pull off to get a 650% gain, which is pretty crazy. But again, I'm glad that I was able to pull that off. And again, what my strategy was here was identifying the Twitter trends, identifying what people are saying on Twitter, and my conviction on why I actually held this all the way throughout up to here, and why I didn't just sell it after I made a 2x, a 3x, a 4x, a 5x. Why I didn't do that is because I was looking on Twitter, I was looking into different wallets, I was identifying who's in the project, I was identifying the volume and the velocity of what the holder count was growing at the hourly rate. I was watching who was getting into the token and talking about it on Twitter. I was watching who was following them. All these different metrics I was looking at. Now, I'm going to be going into all these different types of metrics and factors and what I'm looking at on a different video, so you guys can really understand what's going on in the back of my head when I'm really making these trades and what I'm really doing as my entry positioning, and how I'm looking to make an entry, and how I'm looking to DCA out of the project, and how I'm looking to have my take profit strategy. I'll be going over that a little bit here, but more in depth on a different video. So what I was looking at here was obviously a very large increase in volume as I bought in, which is why we obviously saw this chart uptrend, as well as the team was using a market maker and they were investing money back into their project, which actually helped the project gain a very large market cap within a short amount of time. So why did I hold? Well, again, I mentioned all those factors, but what happened here is obviously there was a very large amount of volume. Even still today, days after I made that trade, there's still $30 million in volume within 24 hours, which is pretty crazy. But I basically held throughout all the way. I started taking small clips out at the 50 million range, and then I fully exited my position around this range, which is where we see the 6.5x or 6.5x gain on a good size position. So the whole thesis here and the whole reasoning here of why you guys should be volume trading is because, again, here's a proof of an example of what this looks like, and it's obviously very lucrative, but there's obviously massive downside to this. When teams are creating fake volume, or when there's a very high amount of volume on a token, you can get wrecked very easily, which is why I recommend you guys set stop loss targets. A lot of times with the tokens that I'm buying into, obviously they're very volatile when they're at a very high volume rate. But what I would say is that don't get into these tokens with a very large amount of volume until they pass a $5 million market cap. And I say that as an example, just so I can keep you guys as safe as possible. But as well as too, I would set my stop loss target at around a 50% loss. And this is why you guys should not be entering with massive size into these trades, because let's per se, you have 10 sold to your name, right? You're worth around what? $2,600 bucks, right? You have 10 SOL in your wallet and you full pour all 10 SOL into this project when it's at $10 million. Let's per se it has a massive dip, it has a 60% dip, and your stop loss target triggers. You're literally now down back to 4 SOL on your entire portfolio. Now, when you're back down to 4 SOL, you're going to be able to be, or you're not going to be able to be as risky, and you're also going to be a lot more emotional when trading because you have a way smaller size. And you're not going to be able to make bigger gains because if you throw 1 SOL into a project, you're only going to be able to make on a 10x gain 10 SOL. And if you throw 10 SOL into a project, you're going to be able to make 100 SOL on a 10x gain. But if we have that downside, which is a 60% loss, and obviously your 60% stop loss target triggers, you're only going to have 4 SOL. So you need to find a medium. You need to find somewhere where you're comfortable. I can't tell you guys where that is. But as a good metric, probably use 5%, anywhere from 2.5 to 5% of your portfolio. I'm assuming that you guys all have smaller portfolios, anywhere under $10,000. So I would use that 2.5 to 5% target to be able to enter into trades. So let's per se you have 10 SOL. It's going to sound crazy, but you want to go anywhere from 1.5 SOL to maybe 1 SOL. I know that's even higher than the metric I just mentioned. But again, you guys are working with a smaller bag, so you guys want to take a little bit of more of a risk. And again, if $2,600 is your entire net worth, please don't do that. So let's per se, we find a trade right here. I'm just going to find a random ass token. I'm going to filter. I'm going to go and put the 3-hour time frame on the pair age, which means how old the token is. And we go here. Again, as we see, I just pulled this token earlier. It was literally just at 9 million when I first showed it to you guys. And now it's literally at 3.6 million, as you guys can see. So this is a good live example of what it looks like to be able to get into these tokens when you're trying to volume trade. It is very volatile. It is very scary, which is why I recommend you guys to look at all these different metrics like holder count, making sure that there's no bundles, or making sure that the bundles are not selling, and making sure that the team is safe, and looking on Twitter and seeing what your friends say. And this is why it's so important to be into a group of people, and it's very important to be into a circle, maybe on Discord, maybe on Telegram, or maybe on somewhere else where people are also doing the same thing as you, and you guys are talking, you guys are going over these different concepts to be able to mitigate risk on losing your money. And you want to have the highest upside possible. And what increases your upside and edge is having people around you that are looking at different factors that is going to be able to help you identify what's good and what's not good. So we can see here, the volume is just so crazy. Like in the past 5 minutes, it did $3 million in volume. It's so crazy that it's just going to fluctuate like crazy. So again, that stop loss target that I told you guys, it's something that is optional. It's something that you guys can actually do on Photon. You guys can set stop losses and all that good stuff. But again, it is super risky, which is why when you're getting into this stuff, you have to have conviction, and you obviously have to hold through those 30% dips, those 40% dips, and on those nice, whatever you want to call it, 200% gains, depending on your take profit strategy. If you want to see a 5x, a 2x, a 10x, you have to be entering into this with a plan, right? And again, you're sometimes going to be able to buy into a token. It's going to do a 2x, and you're going to sell, and you're going to make a nice profit, and then it's going to 100x after you sell, and you're going to feel like shit. But the best thing to do is just after you sell the token, take it off your Photon, take it off your watch list, and just don't look at it again. Enter into the next trade. So the main thing here is, again, enter with as least emotion as possible. And the best way to do that is to enter with the entry size, or with a sizable bag that you obviously don't care about losing. And again, that would be from anywhere from 2.5 to 5% of your portfolio. I gave an example of, a SOL amount that you guys should be doing as an example. So again, the main thing here is volume trading is great. And as you guys can see, it's fluctuating so hard, but it is also very risky. And again, I pulled it off here. I did a great job, but this is not something that is going to be happening all the time. This is something that's going to be at a lower hit rate, just like anything else. It's all speculation. All of this is gambling at the end of the day. So we're going to go back to the next type of trading. We obviously have volume trading, info trading, speculation trading. We're now on the fourth type of trading, and that's technical trading, right? So technical trading is something that you want to use on larger market cap tokens. This is not going to be something that you're going to be using on here, which is just way too it's way too pumpy and dumpy. There's way too much volume going in. Volume is great, but you obviously want to get into technical trading with tokens that are at a higher market cap. So let's per se, we have FWOG here. I'm going to pull up an example with FWOG. I'm going to go on the 1 hour chart. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So here we have FWOG. I'm going to just give an example of some technical trading. And here right now, FWOG's at a $400 million market cap. $10 million in liquidity. It's at the safer level range of what we call larger cap meme coin. This is not something that you're going to see dump to zero in one day. This is not going to be something that you're going to see fluctuate 50% in one day. But this is something that you're going to see that is obviously still going to be volatile compared to traditional markets. I mean, from all-time high a couple of days ago, we literally see, what is that? A 50% a 50% loss, if you would, about the top 10 days ago, right? So these are still very volatile, but compared to what I just showed you guys, it's way less volatile. And obviously at these higher market cap ranges, we have a lot of whales involved. We have a lot of institutions involved. There's a lot of exchanges that hold the tokens. There's a lot of market makers that hold these tokens. So they're going to be less volatile. Now, again, we can see here what it looks like to be a fake shakeout to shake out all of the random ass holders that are just looking for a quick 2x, a quick 20% gain. We have 47,000 holders here, right? This is one of the biggest tokens in the space on Solana. So this is something that I want to show you guys as an example, right? So here we see a massive dip. I showed you guys a 50% loss so far in the past 10 days on this token if you were to buy at the top, which is pretty crazy, but these are the ranges where you want to buy. These are the ranges where you want to slowly DCA when it's downtrending. And this is what I like to do with technical trading. I'm not a technical trader, nor am I an expert in anything. I just happen to make millions of dollars on trading, and I just happen to be that guy that's qualified enough to tell you guys about this stuff. So right now we're at the 39 level, right? So what we're looking for here is a 30% gain, right? We're going to be doing a quick trade here, a quick swing trade. I honestly think that this is going to play out. I don't really think that FWOG goes much lower in my opinion. And yes, this is something that I'm telling you guys not as an example. This is my honest opinion, not financial advice. So let's per se FWOG here. We start seeing a reaccumulation around this phase. I mean, right now we are in the reaccumulation phase where whales are dumping, and we're seeing holder count increase, which is very, very bullish. And this applies to our technical analysis here, which is holder count increasing. Volume levels are still great. Sentiment on Twitter is great. Sentiment online is great. Sentiment between communities is great. Sentiment between the largest holders is still great. The large holders are not selling. They're still holding. They still believe in their bag. Obviously, there's millions of dollars between these top holders here, which is pretty crazy because this is a larger market cap token. But these are all positive signs that we see. So we apply these factors as well as other factors, which I'm not going to mention because there's a million different factors that you can come up with in your head. But those factors that I just mentioned are some of the most important factors. We want to see a 30% gain here. So right now we're at this level. We want to see a 30% gain. And we want to enter with, just as a hypothetical situation, we want to enter with 3 SOL. If your portfolio is 10 SOL on a larger market cap token like this, it is more safer. I'm not saying it's safe, but it is more safer than some of the other tokens that I showed you guys earlier to enter with good size. So we want to enter with 3 SOL. If we enter here with 3 SOL, we make a 30% gain. I'm going to pull it up here. 3 times 0.3. Sorry, 0.3. We have around a 1 SOL profit, right? So as you guys can see here, I'm going to go back to the chart. Where is it? We have a 0.9 SOL profit, and that's going to put us at a nice 30% gain, right? So this is something that is a little bit easier for you guys to be able to do. It's a little bit less risky, and it's also a little bit less of a headache to do. So we're going to be now sitting on around 4 SOL. So that's what we're going to be sitting on as our take profit once we enter that 30% take profit rate, or once we enter that 30% take profit level. And this is something that I want you guys to really focus on and really actually look into, because again, this is one of the easier ways to trade. And when we're looking at massive dips on these larger market cap memes, we see this with Michi as well. We see this with GOAT. I'm going to pull up GOAT. GOAT's one of the largest market cap tokens right now, AI tokens. We see this with GOAT. A lot of these tokens are just getting nuked right now. We see Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. We see a lot of these tokens getting nuked just due to people wanting to move over their liquidity to some of these other large market cap memes on Solana, like Mustard, Slotfather. Like every other day, there's a new meme coming out. We saw a lot of liquidity being rotated to Chill Guy, which is actually a meme that went really viral the past couple of days. So again, when these new viral memes come out, people rotate over to what's new. They want to make a quick gain, and then they always eventually rotate back to these types of tokens, which are the larger, more established, larger market cap tokens with a very established base of holders and a very established base community. So this is what we usually see. The rotation is people are cheating out of this. they're getting into newer things and they want to make like their quick gain. A lot of times people lose money on this because they're FOMOing, they're using emotion, they're looking at what's new, they just want to get into a quick gain and they're gambling and they lose their money, and then they re-enter back into these larger market cap tokens, which are more established and which are on paper more safe and have better fundamentals. So again, this is something that I've applied for myself. Even I can go here, we can go Dogecast. This is something that you can even do here. You see Dogecast, there's a podcast coming out with Vivek and Elon, I think. We see Dogecast at these levels. You know, we see some great wallets at these levels. We see some big whales buying in, and we reaccumulate back to all-time highs. That's around 100% gain. So again, if you want to apply these fundamentals and if you want to apply this very surface level technical analysis to this trading, you guys can. I am not a technical trader whatsoever. What I do is a lot of times I'll find dips on these larger market cap tokens and I'll buy up the dip with some good size, and I'll find a good little 30 to 50% swing trade within the past or within a couple of days once the sentiment around a certain token revives, and we'll see a nice little gain. We'll take the profit and we'll move on to the next one. Again, as you guys can see, I am not a technical expert, nor have I ever said I was, but technical trading around these tokens is great. And the example that I just showed you guys in the example of the technical analysis that we have here is buying the dip on these larger market cap memes. And again, this doesn't always work. We can see here, if you were to buy on the dip right here, and if you were to full port your bag just around these levels as you saw the dip, you would see that you're still going to have downside, right? So like if you were to buy here, you're still going to have 30% downside, which is pretty big if you obviously have a good size of token, which is why you want to be able to set your stop loss, which is why you need to be using Photon. My referral link is down below in the description. So again, you need to have stop loss targets. You need to be entering in with a plan, and don't get greedy. A lot of times people don't set take profits when they're making their gain, and they end up being up 90%. Let's per se, if we were to want to go on FWOG, let's per se we were to put a nice little buy here on this dip, right? We bought here and we see that it goes all the way up here, but we don't take profit because we don't have a plan. And now we're all the way back down to here, exactly where we started. And now you have to get emotional, and now you have to be worried that it's going to go lower, and now you're going to just be all over the place. So that's why you want to set your plan and your strategy correctly. I mean, if you were to hold this up all the way, you would be up just around 90%. But again, we're not going for these big numbers here. We're going for this 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50% on these tokens, which is still great. You know, if you constantly do this, if you do this once a week, if you do this twice a week with good size, and if you're building up your portfolio, if you're building up your bag, you're going to perform very well. And you're also going to be very happy with yourself because you're entering with conviction, you're entering with a plan, and you're doing the right thing that you said you were going to do. So that's what technical trading is. And I showed you guys an example. There's all different types of ways to technically trade. There's all different types of analysis and trading. And there's all this other complicated shit that I don't want to get into because I don't really care about learning about it for myself because I use different methods to trade. And I showed you guys I buy on dips with large cap memes. I actually did quite a bit. I'll show you guys an example. I did quite a bit with Trump token. I was buying the dip on Trump token. I've been swing trading Trump for quite a while because I understand the chart very well. I've been studying the chart and I understand where we're going to be having reaccumulation phases. I understand when their market maker or other market makers are going to be buying back in. And it's just become very easy for me to understand what's a good level to buy and what's a good level to sell. And I'm looking for these 10, 20, 30% scalps. Like if you were to buy the dip here and just within literally one day, you'd be up 50%, right? So again, if you just study a certain chart, if you just learn one chart or two charts or three charts, you're going to get really good at this over time. Again, you don't have to enter into a trade right away on a dip. You can wait, you can take your time, you can want to learn what's going on with a certain token, and you could do more research on who's in and what's going on, and you'll get really good at this. Within a very short amount of time, I would say it would only take you about a week to get really fucking good at studying a certain chart. And then from there, you can start making some really good money. So the last type of trading that I'm going to be going over, which in my opinion is one of the most fun ways to trade, and it's also too, it's a way of trading that pretty much everyone does, is narrative trading, right? So, I mean, I'm just going to put trend trading, narrative trading, whatever you want to call it. Narrative and trend trading is something that everybody's doing out here nowadays, right? Buying derivatives, buying into what's going to be big next. People see that everyone likes AI. People see that everyone likes TikTok trends. Everyone likes animal trends, dogs, cats. This is a trend that every single person in this space has taken part of, and including myself. And it's one of the most fun ways to trade. And if you're in a group like Mashallah, I'll leave the link down below for you guys to go join. If you're in a group where people are talking and people are being up to date with what's happening, with what's big next, or what's going to continue to be big for the next couple of weeks, you're going to do very, very well with this. Now, this applies in every single market. For myself, I was big into EVs, and in the stock market in 2021, I was buying up Tesla, NIO, XPeng, Lee back then. Put a pretty big bag and actually completely round tripped everything, and I'm pretty underwater on that total. But again, narrative trading and trend trading is very fun because you get to do it with your friends. You get to see people talking about it all over Twitter. You get to see different tokens explode, different tokens nuke, and it's pretty crazy. So, I mean, if you guys want to follow my Twitter as well, I'll leave it down below. I've been tweeting on there for years, providing a ton of different value. I'm sometimes engagement farming, but whatever, who cares? So, I'm going to get into this, and we're going to just go over Zero Bro. So Zero Bro is an AI token, or whatever you want to call it. And this token is exactly what we call a narrative trend, right? Or a narrative trade, if you want to call it that. So AI has been popping up off a lot in the meme coin space. People see these different meme coins applied with AI, where the AI is tweeting all day long and tweeting crazy shit. Or maybe there's this trend where there's a certain type of AI that's applied to the meme coin, where it's just tweeting all day and creating unlimited content because there's no human behind the AI. It's just an AI tweeting all day. It's able to create basically unlimited content, where maybe there's an AI that replies to Elon Musk's tweets, and it does a funny reply every single time that Elon Musk tweets, or whatever you want to call it. There's a million different ways that you can apply AI to meme coins, and here's a great example. Zero Bro is a meme coin that just tweets out all day long, replies to people, basically acts like a normal human, and just tweets out funny, crazy shit that's relevant and that sounds very humanistic all day long. And I would pull up their Twitter, but not right now. So with Zero Bro, this was a very big trend back then, and I still think that AI meme coins are going to continue to blow up. I mean, we even have GOAT here. This is another one very similar to Zero Bro. These are AI tokens, and the AI trend is only going to continue to grow. And honestly, the easiest way to be able to win in narrative trading and to win in trend trading, and I'll just label it out here, the easiest way to win, which might not be the largest gain way to win, or you might not have the highest upside on it, but the easiest way to win narrative and trend trading is to find the biggest coin or the biggest meme coin in a certain trend and just get into it. Or maybe you find the top three within that sector. Let's per se we're talking about AI. Let's per se we're talking about frogs like Fwog. Let's per se we're talking about cats like Michi. Let's per se we're talking about dogs like Shrub. Hedgehogs, I'm sorry. This is Elon Musk's pet. So like Elon Musk's pet's narrative, or we're talking about maybe, let me just go here. We're going to pull up a dog token really, really quick. Let's go find, or you know what? Not even that. We'll just go find Peanut, right? A fucking animal that got killed, right? So we're going to find these different trends and we're going to get into them. The easiest way to be able to win, and the most, I would say, your highest chance of not getting destroyed and nuked by a rug pull or by a really incompetent team, is just to buy the largest market cap meme on a certain trend. So let's per se, we would buy Peanut the squirrel, we would buy Zero Bro, we would buy Goat, and we would buy Fwog, right? So that would put us in a good position for high market cap tokens. And as well as too, it would put us in a good position for leverage with the lowest downside and the highest upside. And with the thing with all these larger cap tokens as well is when normal retail and when normal people and your average person or whatever you want to call it wants to get into meme coins, they're going to see these trends and it's going to make sense to them. Or whether it's not going to make sense to them, they're just going to buy these tokens up because they just see it on Coinbase, or they see it on Binance, or they see it on a major exchange, or maybe they're just using a phantom wallet like you guys, or maybe they're just on Photon just trying to buy the highest market cap token, trying to play it safe. They're going to be getting into these plays. They're going to be finding the largest AI token. They're going to be finding the largest token overall of this cycle. They're going to be finding the largest AI token, and they're just going to buy it because it just makes sense. It's the easiest thing to buy. It's the lowest downside, even though these are all risky, but they're going to buy this. Now, what you want to do when you see a new trend, and this is what it's all about, you want to find the new trends and you want to get into them early before they blow up. If you were to get into the AI trend when it was early, for example, GOAT led the AI trend so far this cycle in terms of meme coins with AI integrated. If you were to buy GOAT at the early levels, let's just per se you're not a complete insider, right? So let's per se you didn't have a crazy edge, but you're hearing about it on Twitter. I'm just going to pull up this chart. Let's per se you're buying at the $100 million level. So we're going to be buying up right here. $100 million market cap is still very large for any meme coin. And it's still a very, very great feat. And a lot of tokens don't make it past 100 million. A lot of tokens die after 100 million. So keep this in mind. But we're talking not about a token, not about a market cap, but we're investing into a trend. We're buying into a narrative, right? So we're buying on the dip on GOAT here at 100 million, and we're riding it up for, let's per se, a moon bag. We're not going to sell it. We're just holding for the narrative. We're holding for the trend. We believe in the trend. A lot of times people are not able to ride this up. A lot of times people are not able to pull this off. A lot of times people are up 2, 3x on their money and they just want to sell. That is completely fine. You should always have your own strategy. Never copy anybody else, even if they're majorly successful. Use your own strategy based off of what you're able to lose and what you're able to afford. So here we obviously see GOAT at 100 million, and we see it up and down, fluctuating like crazy. You're looking at your Phantom wallet every single day. You're shaking in your boots. You wake up every single day. You check your wallet. You're up so much. You're so happy. It's all based off the trend. So if we were to see GOAT here, we see that it's going super well. We want to find the next big thing, right? So obviously, whether you were to buy this or not, there's always the next biggest thing, and there's probably 2, 3, 4, 5, another, maybe even 6. There's usually a bunch of other larger cap tokens coming after that are based within that same trend. So we saw Moodang, which was a really, really big hippo that blew up. Then we saw Peanut, which is all these different random animals. Oh, hold up, sorry, that's the wrong one. Moodang. So we see Moodang, and then we saw Peanut, and then we saw all these other like shrub, all this different shit, all these different animals are popping up again. But we have to realize that they're not just animals, or they're not just random AIs, they're not just random tokens. There's actual narratives and trends behind these animals. So with Shrub, it's Elon Musk's pet. With GOAT, it's an AI meme coin. And then after GOAT, we saw Zero Bro blow up. So a lot of people actually sized into Zero Bro because they saw it as the next best thing to GOAT. And some people are even speculating that Zero Bro is going to eventually flip GOAT. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter. I don't hold either. But this is a great example of looking at the current trend and looking at what's blowing up. And usually it takes a really big token to blow up within a certain trend to create that new trend and to create that new narrative where now everyone's launching an AI token. There's 1,000 AI tokens that launch every single day, and you're going to get wrecked on all of them if you buy them. Now, what you want to do is you want to look for a runner that's at a good market cap level. So you want to find something that's maybe at 10, 20, 30, maybe even $40 million market cap. So like, let's per se here, we were to find Zero Bro at, let's just per se 40 million right here. We would be at around a 12x if we were to be at the all-time highs. And now why would I buy into this? How do I know it's the next runner? Well, you have to be in groups. You have to be doing research. You have to be looking at wallets. You have to be looking at smart money. You have to be looking at Twitter sentiment. If you gather all these different factors, and if you're in a group where people are looking at all these factors for you, you're going to be able to come up with a thesis and figure out what's going to be next, what's going to be big. You're looking at volume. You're looking at what people are saying. You're looking at what the GOAT whales, the people that have the largest amount of GOAT, you're looking at what their wallets are rotating into. And this is what we saw with Zero Bro a lot. These are people that believe in the same narrative, the same trend. If this trend continues, if the AI trend continues, then we're guaranteed going to be seeing GOAT continue in price trend, in price action, continue to see an uptrend. We're going to continue to see it go up, and we're also going to continue to see Zero Bro go up. Now, what are the factors that could actually kill these tokens? Well, the factors that could kill these tokens are an incompetent team. Maybe some negative news comes out about the token. Maybe the trend just completely dies out. These are the downsides, which is why I always recommend you set a stop loss and don't put an amount that you're not willing to lose. So that's why, that's the downside that we have here. Now the upside is that obviously we see GOAT being listed on all major exchanges. They accept the trend, they accept the narrative, they believe in the narrative. And that's when we're going to see projects like Zero Bro. And then we have other tokens after that, other smaller market cap tokens that are in the AI trend within the 100 million range. That's what you want to be doing. You want to be looking at these tokens and identifying the trends and understanding why the trends are blowing up and identifying if this trend is going to continue to grow. Now, AI, it's a very simple narrative. We all know that AI is never going to stop. It's going to continue growing. It's going to continue getting smarter. More and more people are going to adopt AI. So Obviously, it's common sense. We enter. There's not much thought that needs to be done. Now, the thought that needs to be done is identifying the other factors like holder count, volume. Is it safe? Does the team have supply? What is Twitter saying? What's the sentiment in retail? These are all factors that you have to look at. So, again, these are the 5 different ways of trading. And honestly, I've known multiple different people that have become multiple or multi millionaires, even some people within the 8-figure range of tens of millions. They've made tens of millions with all 5 different types of ways of trading here. And again, it was all realistic. These are all normal people. These are not people that have some hyper crazy some quantum computing software. These are not people that are geniuses. These are not people with an extraordinary IQ. This is not Sam Altman's best friend. These are people that are normal, just like you, becoming millionaires overnight, and sometimes becoming millionaires over the next month or over the next year. And this is happening all the time. Now, what I would say is that out of, let's per se, the thousands of people that are probably going to watch this video, very few of you are going to be able to become a millionaire. But the ability for you guys to make money, very realistic. It's a very realistic thing to do. Now, if some of you guys are really going to double down or triple down on these methods and these types of tradings that I've showed you guys, you might be able to get to that 1,000 level, and then you level up to the 10,000 level, and then you stack your bag up to 100,000 and then a million. There's also going to be some people that watch this video that are sitting on a very large number of Solana, or you're going to be sitting on crazy liquidity. Maybe you have $100,000, maybe you have millions of dollars. It's going to be very easy for you to become a millionaire because you're playing with bigger size. At the end of the day, you have to start somewhere. Everyone starts somewhere. I know people that started with 1 SOL and turned it into $1 million in literally one day. This is no joke. There's people that publicly have done this, as well as there's people that have started with $1 million and have blown their entire account and then have gone to zero because they're emotional, maybe because they got into the wrong trend, or maybe because they believed into the wrong narrative, or maybe because they speculated on something completely incorrect. And again, it's all about risk management. It's all about your circle. It's all about the group that you're in. So make sure that you guys are doing so. Again, use Photon, use my referral link down below, and make sure you guys join my group, mashallah, down below, where you guys are going to be able to get access to people that have actually and genuinely made millions of dollars in crypto, realized over the past couple of years. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'm going to be going over more in-depth videos like this where you guys are going to be able to gain insight from people like me. I'm also going to be bringing on my friends that have made millions of dollars this year. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how this shit is done. There's a million different ways to get to $1 million. And it's just all about how hard and how committed, or how hard you want to work and how committed you are to be able to getting to that goal. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.